But yeah, to make that thing every time would be to make that choice every time you cook a meal every day would be exhausting, especially with 15-hour days. Anyway, sorry, we're rolling.
So you don't cook when you have 15-hour days, I just learned.
Yes. Well, with 15-hour days, it would be exhausting to make your own food choices every day, especially in the evenings when all you want is something unhealthy. We had meal plans and everything. Most of us, I think all of us who were training had meal plans just to make sure that we had the right caloric intake and in the right way.
True. So the muscles you had to put on for this role, or you just put on, I don't know if you had to put them on, but you did. There was a lot of training, I guess, because it looked like a lot of training.
It was an awful lot of training. Mark Twight and Michael Blevins from a company called Jim Jones in Salt Lake City, they're the guys who train me, and they put me through hell, but in a very intelligent way. They really looked after me. They know a lot about the science of training. They know a lot about the requirement of evolution of training, and that it's not just a simple linear thing. It has to evolve depending on how I'm responding to training. And Zach wanted me to be physical. I mean, I wanted to be physical anyway, but Zach also wanted it, and I thought it was very important to represent the character in that physical way, because if you're going to give the perception of super strength and invulnerability, it makes it easier for the audience to believe it if you look that way.
Absolutely. Although this Clark Kent and also this Superman is different than the ones we've seen before. Had to be, because there were like 550,000 comics and even as much movies about him. What were the main parts that you wanted to do different, just not to be a copy of Superman's before?
Well, I didn't pay attention to the Supermans before at all. I'd seen the movies and caught a couple of episodes of TV shows and stuff, but all the live action stuff, we approached this movie as if the live action stuff previously hadn't existed. And we drew straight from the comic books, and we wanted to put it in a real world setting as well. And so it wasn't like I was trying to be different. I think if you're trying to be different, you can end up making some big mistakes. As long as you're true to the source material, then you're on a good line.
You may have heard the question before, but how glad have you been that you didn't have to put this red slip over the black body condom that you wore?
Red slip. Well, it wasn't like I was sort of glad or not glad. The look of the briefs on the outside is very much a dated look. It's for it relates to circus strongmen, Victorian strongmen, and that was cool at the time when the suit was created or when it was sort of drawn in the comic books, where nowadays they're not nearly as prevalent in pop culture. So why would we put it on the suit? Because this is an evolution of Superman. This is something for the new generation who are going to grow up going, Superman's my superhero, as opposed to, it's my dad's superhero, but I don't really get him.
And for you being British, how did you get along with the heroic, the patriotic parts of the story like Zack Snyder likes to do and did in his former movies?
Well, I approach this very much like Superman is an outsider from humanity, not necessarily just America. And he protects the Earth against a threat as opposed to just America. If he had just protected America, it would have made a very different movie. So I've always approached him as a universal superhero.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.